What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another show here, another big Kentucky Derby update. We're going to talk about a lot here as far as new horses going on new fantasy league teams here. We're going to talk about a lot of them. I think I haven't fully counted yet. I think there could be 9 different horses are going to claim today. So, and always, we kind of use the fantasy league to talk about the up and coming horses, talk about the new horses that are being claimed, and kind of analyze them once the shakes are over and stuff like that. So, I'm not saying you should care about who wins the fantasy league, but you should definitely pay attention to what's going on with the horses being claimed and such. And then also we'll go over what's coming up this weekend. Once we get all this done, the 4 prep races coming up this weekend, and it should be a lot of fun. You're going to have to be patient. I might go a little bit slower because I got to figure this out on the fly about because it's different things for different shakes depending on who wins what. So I'll go a little bit slow, but the first thing is a very easy one. There'll be a 3-way shake right now for Confessional. Confessional ran second behind Nearly last time we saw him in that allowance race. Now, what's interesting is the team of Jared and Kevin drafted Confessional. Then they dropped him thinking, well, he sucks. He got beat 5.5 by Nearly. But then Nearly came back to win the Holy Bull. So now Jared and Kevin want the horse back. Now, the Magic Mike team also wants the horse. Pedlo and Manlow also want the horse as well. So we'll see how lucky Jared and Kevin can get. But this will be the first horse that was drafted on draft night and then dropped and then claimed back. All right, let's do it. Here we go. 3-way shake here. We're going to spin the wheel of death that has not been kind to some teams over the years. We'll see who it's going to be kind to here. It looks like Jared and Kevin are going to fall just short. The Magic Mike team has claimed Jared and Kevin. Don't laugh over there in the corner. So the Magic Mike team has claimed a Confessional here. So that'll be our first claim. So, all right. So the first claimed horse will be Confessional, and the Magic Mike team will be dropping Global Aviator. So Global Aviator will be dropped and Confessional will be picked up. That'll be it for Jared and Kevin. They only put in for 1. Now, let's go on to claim number 2 for the shake. And this is going to be an interesting one between Vinny and the Magic Mike show. So let me update the wheel of death here. Vinny and the Magic Mike show next. So Magic Mike going to try to claim 2 here today. And that the shake will be for Grittiness. Grittiness running in the Withers coming up this weekend. Will be very interesting to see what happens with him. So Grittiness now will shake for him. All right, here we go. Vinny versus Magic Mike for Grittiness. Can the Magic Mike show do it again? My goodness. The Magic Mike show coming in strong. They win both shakes. I think that'll be our last shake. I'll have to look at the waiver order list now, just real quick. So the Magic Mike show will claim Grittiness. Grittiness going to them, and Waymark will be dropped. And I won't write what Magic said about Waymark. Just Magic said, I think he's missing. So we will just leave it at that. So Grittiness going to the Magic Mike show. Waymark will be dropped. All right. Let's process some other claims here as I look through this. And yes, there will be no more shakes. So I'll take this off the screen for now. And by the way, if I wanted to rig something, that would be the last team. So any of the rigged comments, I think you can put them to bed now, as Magic Mike has just won 2 shakes. That is the worst. All right, let's talk about John and Ryan, who I do rig it for when John and Ryan have shakes, because they're actually nice. They're going to do 1 claim this week, and it will be a claim where they will not have to shake because of how things worked out. So John and Ryan will be claiming Mailata, and they will be dropping Christofferson. And they claimed Christofferson earlier in the year. He's missed a couple of works. Doesn't look like he's going to, be running anytime soon. So Mailata running in the Withers, and we'll talk about all these horses in depth once we announce the claims. Vinny will make one claim here. He's going to claim Soldier and Diplomat, and he will be dropping Golden Tornado. Golden Tornado hasn't been seen in a long time, since Saratoga, and Soldier and Diplomat running this weekend in the Southwest. And then finally, not finally, we'll have a couple more. Pedlo and Manlow, they will be claiming Robusta running this weekend in the Robert B. Lewis, and they'll be dropping Newton, a horse that is disappeared again for Bob Baffert. And they'll also be claiming Game For It going to run this weekend in the Sam F. Davis, supposedly. It hasn't drawn yet. He scratched out of the Holy Bull to run in the Sam F. Davis. So I'm thinking we definitely will see Game For It. Although Tampa Bay Downs, the one track left out there that still draws the Saturday cards on a Wednesday. Please stop doing that and join the rest of the world. But Game For It will go to Pedlo and Manlow, and it'll be Mr. AP who will be dropped. Of course, he is injured as well. Finally, one more. Kelby and Evil Stevel have claimed Bricklin, and they will be dropping Hadrian's Wall. So Hadrian's Wall, I think, missed a work as well for Chad Brown. Bricklin running this weekend in the Southwest. Okay, that's the horses. Let's talk about the horses that were involved in a shake first, and we'll talk about Confessional right off the bat. So three-way shake for him. Of course, this is a horse that looked solid on debut for Brad Cox, and then, like I said, just kind of got whipped, so to speak, in the race against Nearly. Just no real challenge to Nearly whatsoever. He does look a little bit better after that race. Now, one thing I will say, though, he's going to go up against another pretty good Todd Pletcher horse in the Sam F. Davis named Renegade. Renegade's supposed to enter, and he's number 3 on my Kentucky Derby top 5 list. So I don't think Confessional is going to beat Renegade this weekend, to be honest with you. But if he finishes second, that's 10 points toward the league. So, and look, if he runs, say second, he could probably go back for the Tampa Bay Derby or whatever, and probably earn points in the league. So I don't think it's a bad pickup at all. It's the horse I would have claimed this week, honestly. Not that really means anything, but it's the one, if I was going to, I would have went in for Confessional. So see what happens. Sam F. Davis coming up there for him. The other horse that was involved in a shake, just a two-way shake here, Grittiness, also, like I said, going to the Magic Mike show. This is an interesting horse because this horse is by Curlin out of an Oxbow mare, and that Oxbow mare is Coach Rocks, who won the Gulfstream Park Oaks back in the day for Dale Romans. So really, really nicely bred. I'll go down to the results, though. Really not nice results, right? No running at all the first 2 races. Finished second behind Courting in a pretty unimpressive race altogether in a maiden special weight in the 3rd start. And then went to the Remsen off a 6, and second. I think just because they know this horse really needs to go long. Went long in the Remsen, got 5th, and really he's just not factoring into these races. Now, the Withers is a 1 1/8. It's a little bit weaker than the Remsen, maybe a lot weaker. We'll see. So maybe this is kind of where, we see him. And I think he's a hit the board candidate, but I don't know that he's a win candidate. But again, he's going to earn points. So, you're going to give him credit for that. All right, let's go to some more here. Mailata will be next on the list, getting claimed. This is a Pennsylvania bred that went to John and Ryan. He's been running at Parks. I'll go to his results. All 5 races at Parks. The last 3 have been sensational for a Parks Pennsylvania bred. Really, 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 really good horse. So we'll see what happens, though. You're going to have to stretch out in distance and obviously move up in class quite a bit for the Withers. So it'll be interesting to see how he runs. But I think he's worth a shot as well. Mailata, pretty nice horse. Like I said, I think he's worth a shot to take a shot on and see if you can get some points with him. Soldier and Diplomat, a horse that was claimed by Vinny, and I can't spell, so we'll see if I could get it right this time. Soldier and Diplomat, 3rd last time out in the Kentucky Jockey Club. A horse that kind of feels more sprintish. 2 races back, was really good on a 1-turn race, allowance optional claimer at Churchill Downs. He was also really good when he broke his maiden up at Saratoga. Got 4th in the Hopeful, another sprint race, and finished behind a pretty good one there, right, in Ted Nafi. So The Kentucky Jockey Club to me was concerning because he turned for home and he kind of felt like he was going to win. Further ado, won that race. I didn't think he was firing just huge. And Soldier Diplomat just kind of got tired, ended up finishing third. He's going to give it another go. He's way on the outside for the Southwest. So we'll see what happens with him. But I think he's a sprinter or a miler. But again, you're trying to get points. I get it. All right. Robusta, another horse, I should say, claimed a maiden special weight win last time out at Santa Anita. He actually beat Cherokee Nation that day for Bob Baffert, and he beat Blacksmith for Bob Baffert as well. So kind of a surprise that he was 24-1 in that one. He was 71 on debut when he finished 7th. He kind of feels a little sprintish to me as well, but I think it's a race that you could kind of take a shot with. I don't love him. Again, with all these claims, I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to get points immediately. I don't think he fits real well into that race. If you want a maiden special weight winner going to a stakes, I think Secured Freedom's kind of the one you want. Of course, he's already owned. So Robusta going there. We'll see what happens with him. I mean, again, with all these claims, take a shot at it. They're all running for points this weekend. Game For It was the next one claimed by Pedlo and Manilow. We're pulling up Game For It here now. This one is interesting. I had I would call it very mild interest in him in the Holy Bull to maybe run, third, fourth, something like that. I think it was a great scratch to go to the Sam F. Davis. Again, we're behind the times down there at Tampa. We still don't know what the field is, and we won't know the field until tomorrow afternoon. But I think he'll look pretty decent in that race. The problem is the one race was made an optional claimer. Now you're going to this. I mean, it definitely feels like the connections are just taking a swing here, but he looked pretty good in that first race. I think he'll fit okay in that race. Like I say, hard to say for sure because, we don't know the field yet, but going to take a shot there. Bricklin. Now, this is a horse that I have interest in. The last one that was claimed today, Bricklin, went to Evil Stevel and Kelby. I'll pull up his results here. Broke the maiden in his second start at Horseshoe Indianapolis, did not do much running in the street since, and that's kind of a bummer because that race hasn't come back to look all that well just yet. But the allowance race at Oaklawn was pretty good. I am skeptical that he's going to be able to, I don't know that he's going to be able to move back up in class and have success. I do think this is a decent horse. He's kind of, if you ranked like a top 50, I think he'd kind of be around that area. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked, I guess is what I'm trying to say, if he outruns his odds. I'm not using him. I want to be very clear, but I wouldn't be shocked if he outruns his odds in that race. That allowance was pretty good last time out. Source is by Nyquist out of a Majestic Perfection. Mare Majestic Perfection was a sensational sprinter, so he's got sprint on the bottom, which that's what I'm worried about, honestly. I think he might be more of a sprinter. It does have Nyquist on the top, of course, Kentucky Derby winner. So who knows? Maybe we'll see something there. All right, let's get to some of the comments here, and then we'll get to the races coming up this weekend. And there are 4 Kentucky Derby prep races. Right off the bat, this one made me laugh. Christopher Maella said, Baffert horse off the work tab. Inconceivable. Well, maybe, right? Maybe not. But anyway, look, here's the deal. And I'll say this, and we love to give, Baffert a hard time. And honestly, I think a lot of it is, and I'm not giving him a pass. Some of it is when you've got that many, there's a better chance that things are going to happen to your horses, right? I mean, that's just what it is. You got so many. Look, horses get hurt all the time and miss works and this and that. And he just has so many names that they pop up. It seems like more for him. I think that is a lot of it for sure. But anyway, Nick says Withers getting moved again based on the weather they're looking at New York City right now. Let me see something here. Because the last time I checked, I thought it looked okay on Friday, but maybe that has changed. Here I am live on the air. Let's look at the weather app. This is what is really makes this. This is why we are where we are, folks, because of stuff like this. Let's see. The weather app. It doesn't look great. Friday, 36 degrees. Now I don't see any moisture, so that's good. It looks like Friday is a high of 36, a low of 23. No, you're looking at Saturday, I think, Dan. Saturday, I don't think they're going to run. But the Withers is actually on Friday. Saturday, yeah, the high is 20 and the low is 7. So if you're handicapping Aqueduct for the weekend, you might pause. I kind of think they might run, guys, on Friday. They're split. It's 37 Wednesday, 37 Thursday, 36 on Friday. I think they'll run Friday. Honestly, I do. If Renegade wins San Davis, do you start the next show with Styx? No, probably not, because I think that'd probably be a copyright infringement, or maybe I would. But yeah, I don't know how that would work. All right, let's go to what's going to happen this weekend. And like I said, we don't have Tampa Bay, but unfortunately, we don't have that yet. But there will be a full preview out for that, so stay tuned to that. Okay, 3 races here. Like I say, this is the Withers on Friday. Like I said, we'll see if they've ran in colder weather up there. I think they'll run Friday. We'll see, though. Maybe not. It is 2026. We're soft now. But the Chad Brown pair, Schoolyard Superman and Ottenho, 2 horses that are owned in the league. So Grittiness, Schoolyard Superman, Ottenho, Melata, all in the league. So be very interesting to see how that shakes out. I think the Brown horses look pretty good. There's a full preview out on the website now. I think Ottenho and Schoolyard Superman look good there. Let's go to this one, a little bit more of a intriguing race, I would say, with the Southwest. 14 horses. Now it's going to be 13. Litmus Test is going to scratch. So that's an update from when I did the video. And thanks again to Mr. Baffert for entering Litmus Test and then scratching. Yeah, I kind of liked him in this race. I thought it set up really well for him. I may pivot to Butane to number 3. I'm going to final pick will probably be Thursday on Blinkers Off or VSiN at the track. We'll talk about it, I'm sure. I think I might flip to Butane. I kind of liked him when the past performances first came out for this race. I am very interested to see if Decode can stretch out to a 1.16 miles. I don't think he's a 1.25 miles horse, but he might stretch out to a 1.16 miles. His pedigree says a mile is definitely within the realm. So if he can get that extra 16th, maybe Decode can take him gate to wire. I think Butane's there to pick up the pieces. If not, I do like him quite a bit. Bricklin in the race, Silent Tactic in the race. So these are horses owned in the Fantasy League. Great Rancho Santa Fe, Liberty National, Soldier, and Diplomat. There's so many. So be interesting down at Oaklawn. Now, I will say this. I have looked at the forecast for Oaklawn because they more so even than Aqueduct. It is a very, it's tough. Weather's tough down there. No question about it. So here's some good news at Oaklawn, and this is insane. So last week, Oaklawn, and 2 weeks ago, they were just getting pounded with snow and ice. 75 degrees for a high on Friday at Oaklawn Park. 75. The track was frozen solid last week, 75 this week. Welcome to living in this part of the country. This is what we deal with. But it'll be nice at Oaklawn. They'll definitely be running. Going to be a good race there. Full preview is out on the website. Full preview is out on the website for the Robert B. Lewis field of 7 here. Bob Baffert with 3 runners. So we found 3 healthy ones here. Desert Gate, Plutarch, and Cherokee Nation going to run in this one. I've been waiting for Desert Gate in this race. I'm pretty excited for him. But Intrepido's there, who beat him last time out in the American Pharoah. Secured Freedom, who's a very, very impressive maiden special weight winner. So there's a lot going on here. This is another really good race. I'm thrilled they have 7. The one thing I will say, will Bob scratch a couple? He had 3 in a maiden last week, and he scratched to 2 of them. Will he run all 3? Will this be a 7-horse field? I hope, because I really don't have, I think 7 is my cutoff. If you can get 7 or more, okay, that's fine. And when you get 6 or less, that's when it gets, I don't like it as well, and it gets kind of weird. But anyway, we'll see what happens here. I'm excited for Desert Gate, and I am very excited to see if Secured Freedom can do anything off that maiden, and then Intrepido, let's see how he does for his yearly debut. We do not have fields, like I said, for the Sam F. Davis. We do know Renegade and Confessional are going to be there. Game 4 it's going to be there as well. So there is an article up on DRF. I believe David Grinning wrote it, and it kind of gave you the probables for that. But the big kind of centerpiece of the article was certainly Renegade and Confessional. They seem like the ones that are going to stand out in that race. Now, good news, we'll be back a full preview, probably Wednesday night sometime when that full preview of the Sam F. Davis comes out, because who knows when they'll actually draw it. But about Wednesday night, look, about 8, 9, 10 o'clock, we'll kind of check it out and see what happens there. Gatekeeper says Decode is a solid contender. We'll see. I thought his maiden race was fantastic. I just worry about now we're going longer. I really don't think this horse is getting a mile and a quarter. I just don't. I do think a mile and 16th is well within the realm for Decode. And then Plutarch. A lot of people like this horse, and I'll just click on him real quick, and then we'll get out of here. The reason why I mean, from the very start, one of my favorite female horses was Stellar Wind, and this is Stellar Wind's son. So and Into Mischief on the top, Stellar Wind, obviously Stellar Wind was by Curlin on the bottom. I mean, this is a great pedigree. It's very, very, it's just very, it's troubling to me, if I could speak, that we've been on the dirt, then we went to the turf, and it took the turf to break the maiden. Like, there's nothing wrong, second, third, first, but it's just like, man, we just haven't seen that next step, and I don't know that 1 mile on the dirt is where we're going to see it. This might be one you look at, mile and an eighth, mile and a quarter. He finally kind of comes into his own. So I don't know about the race Saturday. I do like him overall. I love the pedigree. You don't usually see Badford horses go dirt, turf, and then back dirt. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week. Do I want to read this? Come on, folks. All the big barns have 40+ horses who could be in the mix. Where are everyone's? Off or never made the work tab. People go to Bob to win if they can't handle the Bob training next. Well, yeah, I agree with that, actually. That's what I just said. So, all right. We're going to get out of here, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching this weekend. This week, I should say. Going to be a fun weekend. Stay tuned to the website. Of course, picks every single day for every single track. If you want to bet Will Rogers today, they're up. They're ready to go. They will be running at Will Rogers here in about a couple hours. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And I have a feeling you'll see us next week for another Kentucky Derby update.